Alright guys, here we are. We got the 2.7. The first thing we're going to do, guys, is verify the complaint. Verify the noise. Listen to the noise, and I want you to listen to the noise just in case your engine is doing the same thing. Alright, let me start it up. You think they can hear that? Yeah. Well, it's rattling now, guys, and probably when the idle goes down, you can hear it more. And guys, it sounds like it's coming from the front half, the timing cover. Let me shut this off. Yeah, you can hear it now. Alright guys, the reason why I wanted to shut it off real quick, because if that is the timing chain, this is an interference engine. If that chain pop or something happened down in there, whether it's a tension or well, it can damage the valves, and this job will be a lot more worse than what it is. So what we're gonna have to do, guys, we're gonna do this now. There's to do the timing chain on this, the first thing I do is take off the intake and the valve covers. Now, we can take off the intake and the valve covers now, but that's not going to serve no purpose, because the only thing that's going to show us is the top half of the chain. We need to see down below. So what we're going to do, guys, is take off the cover first. We got to take it off anyway. We got to do the timing chain. We got to see what's going on down there. All right, so let's get this off. The first thing we'll do, guys, we're going to jack up the right side of the vehicle so we can start draining this antifreeze out and all that mess, okay? So let's get it jacked up, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, just like I said, jack the car up, put a jack in it. Safety is #1 on any job, guys. Alright, as you can see, we got a hydraulic jack, jacked up the vehicle, and we got our jack stand there holding up the vehicle as well. And we're going to leave our hydraulic jack there as added security. Yeah, buddy. Alright, also guys, what's very important, make sure you have a good base. We're on concrete. If you're on grass or dirt, you definitely want to make sure you use some kind of wood as a base for both this and the jack stand. And do not use particle board, use plywood. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is take off this tie over here. Your tie is held on by 5 19mm lug nuts. So we got our 19mm deep, 1/2-inch drive with the DeWalt. If you have any other air tool or cordless tool besides the DeWalt, don't use it. Use your hand jack, because those tools don't work. They won't get this tie off. Let me stop playing with you guys. Alright, so we got those off. Let's take all of them off and get our tire off. Okay, we'll be right back. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do is drain the antifreeze. But in order to drain the antifreeze, we got this shield right here we got to remove. And it looks like there was a screw here and all down the line. It looks like there was something else here, but this one's missing it. So take yours off, whatever it is, I don't know. But to take off this shield right here, you're going to see a series of 8mm. It looks like 8mm. We're going to get that in a minute, see if it's 7. All around. This one's missing, and some over there is missing. But what you're going to do now is get you a flat screwdriver, and on the inside, on this part, you're going to see 2 clips. There are going to be 2 clips on each side, this side and the other side. And what you want to do here is take your screwdriver. You're going to see a little opening right there. Stick the screwdriver in there, twist it, and go either side. You want to pop that centerpiece out. Man, these things are stuck. When you pop that centerpiece out, the whole clip, this is all messed up. We're going to get new ones and put in there. Let's do one more over here. That one came out a lot better. All right. God dang it. You know what? When it gets like that, guys, let's get us a needle nose and pull the rest of that out. Alright? We'll be right back. Alright, guys, we got our needle nose. And you just bring your needles in there, and you want to use it like a pry. Just pop that centerpiece right out, and the whole thing will come out. And that's how it's here better. That's how it's supposed to look. Alright, the next thing you're going to do, guys, is get you a 7mm deep socket 3/8 drive with your 3/8 drive ratchet. And remember all those bolts, if you go up under here, this one right here is missing. So we're going to go over to this one, and you're going to go all the way across to the other side and remove those bolts. Or it might be, could be just like screws, but remove them either way. Just remove them. Alright, so let's get that done, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got to the last one over here. Looks like it's a Christmas tree clip. I thought it'd be a screw on the other side, but it's not. It looks like the Christmas tree clip. So we're going to put a body panel pry bar. These things are great. That's what you do, just get in there, pop that right out just like that. Alright, this shield is not ready to come out yet. You still got some more bolts to take out. So what you want to do is follow back. Go to, get this out of the way. The center, right about here. Let me go way up here, and you see 1, 2, 10mm bolts. So what you're going to do is get you a 10mm deep 3/8 drive, a 4-inch 3/8 drive extension, and your 3/8 drive ratchet. And you're going to remove those bolts. And when you remove those bolts, be careful, guys, because the shield don't want it to drop down on you. So let's remove these together. Alright, there's one. And there's 2. Okay, then once you get that, get from under there, you're going to bring your shield. What the heck? What the heck, man? Is that another bolt? That sucks, guys. Okay, one more right about here. There's another one. So it's 3 10mm bolts. Alright, let's get this out and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got the 3 screws out. And we'll just wiggle this pan. Uh-oh. Tim found a screwdriver. Yeah, buddy. A number 2. Yeah, boy. Alright. Let's take this down. And let's go put this down in the party line. Alright? We'll be right back. Alright guys, get you a drain pan. Now to drain your antifreeze, you got a plug right there. And what you're going to do is take a pair of pliers and you're going to twist that counterclockwise. It's a stupid place. Alright, once you get it loosened, just be careful. Got your pan. Let's turn this some more. Pull it out, it should be pulled out. Oh, man. There we go. Alright. So we're going to open that a little bit more, let it drain a little bit more. And to let it drain even faster, open up your radiator cap. Alright, so let's get that done and we'll be right back. Alright guys, while that's draining out, you're going to have to remove this shield right here. Now this shield is held on by 2 10mm bolts. One right here, and I'm going to show you the other one in a minute. So I'm going to use a 10mm deep 3/8 drive, my 3/8 drive cordless ratchet. I'm going to get to that one, but I'm going to leave that one last. Then you got one of those clips right here. Same thing, you got to pop that center out, and these are going to be kind of difficult. So I got to get a screwdriver. And the last 10mm bolt is inside there. You're going to have to go up under the car. Now let's get up under the car. And if you look, follow my finger straight up, and you see it right there. Alright, now for that one, guys, let me see if I can get the deep in there. Instead of, I might have to use a swivel on that one. Yeah, I'm going to have to use a swivel on that one. So, let's get that, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, what I use is the 4-inch 3/8 drive extension and my 10mm swivel socket. That thing is great for that one over there. So then there's good. Take our last one out. And the cover will drop down. Like it's leaking a little oil in there too. There's a little funky cover in the front. Yeah, buddy. Alright, guys, let's put this down to the party line. And we'll be right back. Alright, guys, next thing you do, take your pair of pliers. You're going to have this little clip right here that's holding these two hoses together. You can pop that one out. You can leave that one on there if you want. Just back that up a little bit. We're going to loosen up this clamp and that clamp. And that's all you have to do is squeeze it together. And back it all the way up. Take this one. Squeeze it. And actually, guys, you know what? Let's do this this way to make sure you won't break this nipple right here, right there. So let's take your pliers, slightly grab the hose, and just you want to break it, twist it back and forth to break the seal. And you notice up here it's not even moving, even though back here is. So what you want to do? There it is. Go like that. And actually, what you can do is keep on going. And pull it back at the same time. Tried to be out of your way. Alright, let's get that one off. Swing that over. Now let's take our clamp on this one and bring that all the way back. And this one is going to be sealed also. So what you want to do is get you a flat screwdriver and just stick your screwdriver in there. Work it around just to break that seal. Then pull that hose off, and I can hear the antifreeze coming out even more. So you want to be careful when you take this off. Lift the hose up in the air, so in case there's any coolant inside the hose, you're bringing it down into the radiator. And then just twist this hose to the side and just tuck it down. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is take up our expansion tank. Now your expansion tank, you also have this big hose right here. Alright, so we got this clamp right here that's got to bring down. Now before you do that, it's got a little protector here. You can just slide that down if you want. You take your pliers. And bring that down. Now take your pliers again, and just like that other seal, you just want to twist that hose back and forth just to break the seal on it. There we go right there. Now, don't take it off all the way yet because there's still a little coolant in here. So now what we're going to do is take our expansion tank. Let's move this cap to the side. We're going to do is take our expansion tank, unbolt it, and we're going to tilt it and let all the antifreeze drain out in there. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, next you're going to take your 13mm deep 3/8 drive socket with your 4-inch 3/8 drive extension and your 3/8 drive ratchet. You're going to have two 13mm bolts. One right here, and the other one is up here. Now, once we unbolt that, your expansion tank is also held in right there, down into that this little part right here plugs up into here. So you got to pick it up. So let's get both of these bolts out. And as you can see from the side of the canister, there's still a little antifreeze, a little coolant in there. So now you want to pick it up, and you just want to lean it to make sure, try to get that to drain out as much as you can so it don't spill everywhere. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my pan over just a little bit, and then take it off from this hose. Take it off. Cool. Now, take your bolts that you took out so you don't... What the heck is that? Here, Siri. Alright, take your screws and put your screws back to where you found it. Where the heck did I take the screw out at? No, right here. One right here. And one over here next to... Dang it, man. Don't you hate when it's stuck there? Like, what the heck? Here, Siri.
No!
Alright, and put your screw back in there. Alright, put this to the party line and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we do, we got this heater hose right here that we got to disconnect. That clamp, I hate those spring clamps. It should have been more up that way, but that's cool. Get you a needle nose, a little angle on them like that. And try to get in there and it goes this like this ain't working.
Only if you had clamp pliers. They might work. Too bad you don't have any.
No, they won't get in there because it's at an angle.
Right. Is this working?
Huh?
Is this working?
You know, guys, if this is aggravating you, just unbolt the housing and take it off. But let me go get my hose pliers and hose clamp pliers, and just like Sylvie suggested, and we're gonna try to take it off. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, here's our Christmas present from Sylvie, our hose clamp pliers. Let's see if these will work.
Years ago.
Yeah. He told you this thing is. Wait a minute.
If that works. Huh.
It didn't work. It didn't grab that bottom one. Because it's that bottom one that...
Look at that! Look at it! Look at it!
You're a bum.
Yeah.
Alright. So, being that we got that, now we got to loosen up that, because that seal right there. So take your pliers, grab it right about here, and try to keep swinging it back and forth, and get closer. Yeah, be careful. Okay, it broke. Not broke, but the seal broke. Pull the hose back. Push that. I know. Push the end. Put this over here. And let's tuck this over to the side. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys. The next thing you want to do, as you can see, we got our hydraulic jack with a block of wood. Guys, this part is super important. You make sure you have a block of wood to go between the oil pan, because it's aluminum, and your jack, because it's steel. If you don't, you will crack that oil pan. So what you want to do is bring it up till it touches, and then you want to pick it up just a little, just pick a little bit of tension on it. Just like that, and lock that in place. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is remove this bracket right here. This bracket mounts onto the motor mount, which looks cracked, and the engine. That's why we got our jack up under there, to keep this engine up in place so it don't drop down. So the first thing you do, grab your flat screwdriver, and you're going to have a ground strap right here. So you're just going to go in there on each side and just pry that ground strap up, move it to the side. Now you're going to have two 13mm nuts and three 16mm bolts. So you're going to grab your 13mm deep socket 3/8 drive, and I'm using a cordless impact. Take those up. Then switch over to the 16mm or 5/8 deep, and then you're going to have a problem. So we're going to have to pull out the DeWalt with a 16mm. Alright, yeah buddy, the DeWalt, I love using that. Alright.
You don't hesitate on using that Christmas present. I'm just saying.
Guys, don't they make these jobs longer than what they could be?
I guess
or should
what?
be?
The hose clamp pliers weren't expensive enough for you.
Oh man.
That's what it is.
Alright guys, let me go get a 16mm socket, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got a 4-inch half-inch drive extension with my 16mm half-inch drive socket. And the I barely even hit the button on this thing. And when you take off your last one, the engine will move just a little bit. Alright, we got those out. Now, first thing we want to do is we want to make sure the length of the bolts. Make sure all of them are the same length. So when you put them back, good. Alright, take the bracket up. Put the 2 nuts back up here. Now, if you want to give you a little extra room, you really ain't going to need it. Well, I mean, this mount is busted anyway, so we got to take that up. So let's see, what size? These 16mm as well? They're 15. 15s, let me see. And this one you might need a 16s. Now this one over here has the power steering pump reservoir in the way, so you might want to get a. Hold on, get a little wobble extension. Put the socket onto there, and that way your socket will wobble, give you just that extra room to get that off. So we got 2 16mm bolts. Matter of fact, let's put the nuts back up here so we don't lose those. We know where they go. All right, so now we can get in there. You see that little wobble? See how I made it? It's a lot easier. Let's make sure we got this one out. All right. Both bolts the same length. Take note, you can take note of which way the mount is facing so you can put it back. And we got a big pin back here that goes through, so the pin is on the back side. We're going to pick that up, put our bolts back in it, and matter of fact, guys, we might put the bracket back up here and keep the bolts in that and put it in the party line as well. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is take off the belt from underneath. Here's your tensioner right here. In the front of your tensioner, there's going to be an access to a little square opening for a 3/8 drive ratchet. You want to put your ratchet into the on position. You want to hook it up just like that. I'm sorry, your ratchet into the off position. Did I say off position?
On.
I said on. Off position. Then you want to go like you're turning it off. See how it goes like that? All right. So while you're doing that, here's your alternator over here. Now you can take it off from the alternator, or you could be down here and take it off from the AC compressor. Okay, take your belt off. Slowly release your tensioner again. And then remove the belt. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is take off the center. Well, you know, before I go there guys, you're going to see back there's another belt. That belt is a stretch fit belt. It takes a tool to take it off. But we're not going to take that off right now. We're going to actually take the harmonic balancer off, and it's going to take that belt off as well. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to lower the engine slowly. It ain't going to go much. Just a little bit. So you can get to the bolt on the center, and it helps us with the tool to take this harmonic. You're definitely going to need a special tool on this. Alright, so we're going to get that off, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, what you're going to need is a 21mm deep half-inch drive with your half-inch drive cordless impact or air ratchet. So I'm going to take this center bolt off. Now to pull that off, that harmonic balancer is press fit in, and it requires a special tool. Now this one, you want to get this one because this is pretty cheap, and it does the job well. Performance tool, there's the part number right there. Write it down, take a picture of it, whatever you want to do. Just get it. Alright, or guys, if you don't want to spend the money, you don't figure this is going to be one time, go to your local auto parts store like Advance, O'Reilly, AutoZone, one of them, and you can rent the tool for free. Now the way this tool works, why it's so different is because if you look inside here, on the inside of these section right here, there's a little cutout just for this gear to go. The gears go over there, and then they grab it. Then, I know guys, this sucks. Then you got the bolt that goes in the center, And then you're going to have 3 different rods. These rods, you got to figure out which one to use. They go in to where the bolt was, all the way, bottoms out. Then it goes in to the other bolt like that. And you got to make sure that the gears are going in, and as you tighten it up, it's going to push up against the rod and pull that out. This thing sucks, guys. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with manufacturers doing this, because you got to work your way around to try to get the jaws in there. See, like right now, I don't think I'm going enough, so that might be too long. Let's try the shorter one. Maybe that one looks a little better. So let's get the shorter one in there. Dang it, man, this thing's... Guys, you have no idea how this thing sucks to try to get these things in there. And then sometimes you have a problem of the things won't go in there, like this don't. So what you got to do here is on your tool, pop the pin out, pull it out. Then see right here, see how it won't go in there? So what you got to do is take each one, hook it in there, and then put it back on the tool. So that's a little trick you can use. So let's do that, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got them in there. Now we want to just bring our bolt in. And you want to make sure your... It's a sucky thing, man. Make sure those hooks are grabbing on to the harmonic balancer. Okay, they're starting to grab. Now what you want to do is grab you a 15/16 wrench, or whatever size your tool uses. You want to put it over to hold that into place right there. Then grab you a 3/8 drive ratchet and put it on tightening. And you're going to be tightening up that bolt now. And at the same time, you might have to hold those, make sure those jaws are grabbed onto the harmonic balancer. Okay. Now, as you tighten up this, it's pushing up against that rod, up against the inside of the crank, and it's going to be, it should be pulling that harmonic balancer off. Do not use power tools on this. Because you can strip it out and mess it up. This sucks. You can tell when it's coming off when it starts getting light at a turn, and this ain't. Man, this sucks. Let me try to get a better angle at it. Now, I hope it comes off soon, because I'm about to run into a problem.
What's the problem?
The bolt is about to hit the tool which is gonna stop. Oh, good. Whew. I was at the end, guys. My bolt hit there. So now it's pretty much held on right now, just held on by that belt. So let's just wiggle this out. You know what? I'm getting stuck on this. The rod is in there. So now we're going to back this up. And if you want, now you can use a power tool. Whoops. To take that bolt out. Okay. There we go. And let's get this belt off, and I'm going to show you what I mean. On the belt, looks like he had one done right at Chrysler too. And you can see it says stretch fit. Dumb ideas. I promise you guys, it's a dumb idea. But hey, that's all we can say. It's dumb. We got no choice. We got to fix it. All right, so let's put our harmonic balancer back in the party line. Get our tool out of here. Put our tool away. We're not gonna need this again. All right, be right back.